which is the red Norwegian resistance hat. I did not follow one particular set of directions, so I'll talk about how I went ahead and made my hat. I did make my hat a little large, but I have a really big head. So first off, I used the cheapest yarn I could find, which is Red Heart Super Saver. This I think was under $5 for this large skein. The only thing I've made out of it is this hat, and I still have this much left. I don't think it's enough to do a whole other hat, but it's a good amount still left. I'm going to start another hat for my daughter tomorrow, and if she gets the exact same red, we'll just use up the rest of this and go on with the other one. So the directions my sister-in-law shared with me were very confusing to me. And I've been crocheting for a long time, and I can read directions, but they were really confusing to me. So, so I didn't follow one set of directions. I used two different sets of directions. First off, let me show you how it fits. There is a front and a back, because this particular pattern, you work from the brim to the end. So I'm just going to put it on and show you. You can have it up. That'd be fun. I just usually do that, and I've been walking around town with it on when I do my daily walk, and that's, nobody's asked me anything. I did make a printable that I could, if somebody does ask me, I can share with them what the purpose is, what the meaning of it is. Nobody's asked me so far, but if somebody does, I will be prepared, because I don't like confrontations and I don't want to have to explain it in detail. That would be very disturbing to me. Okay, so the directions that I initially saw did not have a decorative brim. It just had the same stitch go all the way to the edge. And I kind of like that decorative brim. And also there's a real reason for it. And the reason is so that it's kind of snug around your head, and it makes it less likely to slip off if you don't make it too big like I did. The problem with doing it this way up is that if you get this wrong, you can't fix it later. Whereas most hats that I've ever done, I start at the top and I work down to the brim. And when I get down to the brim, I can kind of adjust it, because you can put it on your head, you can see how it's fitting, and kind of adjust it from there. But you can't really do that. So you have to adjust it beforehand. I mean, when you're working this part of it. So this hat is a hat I made that I really like the ribbing on it. See the ribbing? And this is crochet. It's all crochet. This hat, the pattern is on Fiber Spider's YouTube channel. And I have put the link in the description below so that you can look that up. You can go and look at it. And all I did was I followed his directions for the ribbing, which is like front post, triple crochet, maybe back, maybe it's double crochet, front post, double crochet, then back post, double crochet, then front post, double crochet, and so on, all the way around. And that's what gives you the ribbing look. So if you go to his channel, if you don't understand what I just said, if you go to his channel, he will explain it. He is so great. And he close-ups of his hands, and he goes slow, and he talks calmly, and he has clear speech patterns. So it's really easy to follow what he's saying. That's what I used this for this. And I did 1, 2, 3, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, it looks like 4 rows of that around there. And then after that, I followed, I think it's Mama G's. She is also linked below. And her pattern, it was just straightforward, because you're just going around. You're just going around and around and around. And when you get to a certain point, which I think she said 9 rows in, she started doing reductions. And I think I started at 8 rows in, because I realized that I had done it too big at that point, and started doing reductions. And then you get to the top. And when you get to the top, somebody asked me especially about this. This is braided. Hopefully you can see that. It's not twisted. It's just a braid, like you'd braid your hair, horse's tail, whatever. The what I did is I took several long pieces of yarn, and they were probably a foot long, and I think about 12 pieces, and I just stick the crochet hook in for the end and grab it and then pull it out, pull one side out, pull the other side out, so that they were sticking out this way, but they weren't through the same hole, so that they would kind of catch. And once I had a bunch of them in there, then I just braided it, tied a little piece of string around the edge. I think I actually, yeah, I did. I put a rubber band on it first to make it stay put. And then I trimmed that fairly evenly so that that tassel was good. You could make that tassel however long or short you wanted it. You could also just put a ball on top. But I think the braided tassel is kind of iconic for the Norwegian resistance hat. Other than that, there's not really much else to it. It was really kind of a fast workup. I started off trying to follow those two patterns that have been shared with me, and didn't do. I mean, it was really just I was having a hard time following it. I couldn't understand what they were talking about. I couldn't really get into the swing of it. So I took it out, tried it again, took it out, tried it again. So starting at about 7 o'clock in the morning and until about 9. Messing around with that. And so then I decided I was just going to follow Fiber Spider's ribbing and Mama G's body of the hat. And from that point on, over the course of the day, we had a furnace we were trying to fix. We had a road crew that broke our water main. We had, I don't even know what all kinds of crazy stuff happened all day long. And by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I made lunch. And by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the hat was done. So there were lots of other things going on. And although that was 5 hours, take off a couple hours of that at least for lunch and cleaning up after lunch, and then take off another hour for everything else that was going on. And so I think maybe 3 hours, really. Probably if I'd been more confident in what I was doing, it wouldn't have taken that long. And I anticipate when I make my daughter's hat tomorrow, that it won't take very long at all. It'll just really go fast. And I will make it smaller. Her head isn't as fat as mine. I've got a fat head. So that's that. Oh, and one more thing. I only had a size J hook. That was the closest one that I could use. So that's what I used. A lot of them say a 5.5 millimeter hook. I think maybe that's an I hook. I did not have that. I probably have one, but I don't know where it was. And so I used a J, and it seemed like it was fine. That seems like it's a nice, fairly tight, not too tight, but it seems okay. So if you have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer them, but I'm an experienced crocheter, but I'm not like, I don't go around telling people how to do it. So I probably cannot tell you in any way that makes any sense other than to me. So that was that. So I spent the holidays in Nevada with my family, and we made hats. My sister-in-law and I made hats. And I went for lots of walks in the desert. So if you see my walks in the desert, you will see that. Somebody says, please. Please what? If there's something I can do for you, let me know. Otherwise, I'm sorry. I don't know what you want. So my walks in the desert were absolutely awesome. It was just so much fun. It was so neat to be there. I had a blast. I went for lots of walks. And the reason why I went for lots of walks is this. The Quapaw tribe in Oklahoma, a friend of mine she volunteers at their community center there on Saturdays, and they were doing a thing, they're still doing a thing, where they're in honor of their ancestors who had to walk the Trail of Tears, which is when white people relocated all the Native Americans to Oklahoma, or tried to locate all of them to Oklahoma. Those people were marched across the United States, and under horrible circumstances. And it was the Trail of Tears. For one thing, they're leaving their homeland. And also, I'm sure a lot of them died along the way. And so in honor of that, they were having kind of like a symbolic walk of 184 miles over a period of 2 months. And so I decided I was going to do that. And I started at the beginning of January, and I'm 22 miles away from meeting my goal. The end of it is March 1st, I think, is that when the Quapaw tribe is calling their challenge done. And I'm sure I will meet that. But I didn't think I could actually be that consistent, and I have been, and I'm very proud of myself for being that consistent. And I think that it's a good way to reflect on what other people have gone through in history and how we should show grace and kindness to them. So that's been my winter so far. That and a broken furnace and a broken gas line and a broken water main and what else? Oh, I broke my car. It's just one thing after another. It's been a crazy, crazy winter. So that's all I know about that. If there is anything you have a question about, don't hesitate to ask it below, and I will see if I can come up with an answer for you or show you if it's, you want me to try. I mean, I'll try and show you how I did it, but I don't know that that would be of any value to anybody else. Actually, maybe I will. Maybe if my daughter gets the yarn, brings me the yarn tomorrow, maybe I will just put you guys on and just sit here and do it in front of you and you can watch, or not, as the case may be. So I can't think of anything else to say. I hope to be back doing lives more regularly now that I'm back in a more stable situation. I couldn't really do it at my brother's house just because it seems exceedingly rude to go to somebody else's house and just say, I'm going to do a live video on your kitchen counter. So it's much better to do it on your own kitchen counter. So anyhow, that's it. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.